out the gains. And here's the game changer. It's decoys. This is something that hasn't been talked about before, and this is what I really want you to hone in on. India's Rafales likely deployed the X-Guard. It's from Rafale Advanced Defense Systems. It's upgraded with AI-enhanced jamming, per Defense News. This 30-kilogram pod towed on a 100-meter fiber optic cable blasts radar signals mimicking a jet's signature. So when that Pakistani air marshal says we have an ID, we have an electronic ID, I wonder where that electronic ID was coming from. That's a mystery. But this X-Guard blasts a 500-watt, 360-degree jammer, and it spoofs threats. It has AI adjusting signals. So you think it can outsmart some little surface-to-air missile? It can outsmart radars like the PL-15E's ASA embedded seeker. And again, the PL-15E is a dumbed-down version of the PL-15 that China uses indigenously. So it likely doesn't have the actual spoofing protection that the actual PL-15 has. The fiber optic link is immune to jamming, and it ties to the Rafale's Spectra suite. It can deploy in 2 seconds and retract for reuse unless it's cut by the pilot in the front. So it's kind of like you slip a decoy wingman into the chat to dodge a stage 5 clinger. Pure escape artistry. Nice work. And let's compare it to Raytheon's AN/ALE 50 that's used on US F-16s and B-1 bombers. That's a 20-kilogram expendable decoy. It's towed on a 50-meter line, and it pumps 300 watts to lure in missiles. It costs about $22,000 versus the X-Guard costing somewhere around $100,000. It's a single-use, potentially less effective against ASA seekers, but it saved B-1s in Kosovo. And then the US Navy's ADM-160 MALD, a 300-pound air-launched decoy, flies 500 nautical miles at 90 minutes of endurance. It mimics jets like an F-16 signature. Its signature augmentation subsystem is specially designed by Raytheon. And that MALD-J, it can add jamming. It was tested in 2008 successfully. The MALD's expendable cost is a lot more. It's $300,000, and it's highly efficient in suppression of enemy air defenses as it can jam and suppress surface-to-air missile systems. Guys, these decoys are slicker than your slickest Tinder dodge. Yeah, I know what you're doing out there. Good work. And then Pakistan's air marshal claimed Rafales crashed, but X-Guard likely fooled their PL-15Es. Those hits were likely decoys. So did Pakistan fall for India's high-tech bait and switch? Let me know what you think in the comments below, but I highly believe that's what happened. So what really went down? Lots of places online are abuzz. Jane's Defense Weekly says Pakistan's PL-15E missiles likely slammed into India's X-Guard decoys, not Rafales, and that's what I think happened as well. On Pakistan's J-10C KLJ-10 ASA radars, the decoy's 500-watt signal mimics a Rafale radar cross-section, faking Doppler shifts to look like a jet moving at Mach 1. The PL-15E's seeker can lock on, sees a juicy, sweet target from across the room. I mean, across the sky, you know what I mean. And then it targets roughly 100 meters behind the real jet. And Pakistan's pilots think they've scored. Meanwhile, the Indian Rafale pilots wired into the Spectra suite get real-time alerts. Missile lock detected, X-Guard deployed. The cockpit's multifunction display shows the decoy's position, missile trajectory, and a green spoof confirmed as the PL-15E chases the decoy. The pilots jink slightly, staying a decent distance away from Pakistani airspace while the decoys take the hit. Boom! No damage to the actual Rafale. And talk about a quick strike. That's faster than your wingman bailing on a double date. How dare he do that? And India's S-400s were claimed to have zapped Pakistani drones and to taking out 2 JF-17s. Again, that's per the Hindustan Times. While the BrahMos and Scalp missiles hit bases like Nur Khan, Pakistan's air marshal also claimed that 3 Rafales fell. So again, both sides are trying to decide what actually happened. Hopefully this video helps you guys understand a more likely scenario. So Operation Sindoor was a clash of